Hello beautiful souls, welcome back to Antoinette Intuitive Tarot and Jewellery. I'm here just to quickly show you some books that have arrived for me which I'm going to be looking at over the next coming seasons, or for some of you this would be in working with the Wheel of the Year, or sabbats as many would refer to them. And I have 4 books. I have Yule, Imbolc, Ostara and Beltane, and that is how they will run in the next few seasons. I am not familiar with how the Wheel of the Year works precisely, but I do know that you can get a book linked to each one. So these are from Llewellyn Publishing, I do believe, and they weren't overly expensive, which is why I treated myself. They came up cheap in the recent cyber sales from Amazon, but I'll put some links in below if you want, just so you can grab some if you would like. But really, I just wanted to know about the festivals, being that I live in England. I just wanted to know a bit more about what goes on and how we used to celebrate them. I'm aware of some of the stuff that goes with Yule traditions, because we do still celebrate some of that here openly in this country, and it's not all, hidden. So yeah, these books have rituals, recipes, lore or folklore, ways of old, and it's also about obviously the winter solstice. So these are from the Llewellyn's Sabbath Essentials. I think this one's just been upgraded and is now in a green version. I don't have that one, but I think I have everything I need here. So looking at the back, so we're talking about the winter solstice, celebrated when nighttime has reached its maximum length and there is promise of brighter day. So the solstice starts officially on the 21st of December, and I think that is when we would normally start Advent, and it's all linked in weirdly. So there's lots of things as you start to read these books that link into all these old laws and traditions and ways of old. Just reading through here, is there anything else I should say? Nothing in particular. So obviously Yule is a cornerstone as opposed to a cross quarter. So I think Imbolc is a cross quarter. And Yule, ooh, I know Beltane is definitely, no, Ostara, so Yule, Ostara, the summer solstice, which has another name, I think are cross quarters. Hey, put it in comments, tell us, help me find out. So this is just a bookmark that's been coming with things as I buy them. Let's just have a quick sneaky peeky. So there we have old ways, new ways, spells and divinations if you're into those, recipes and crafts to do for the season. So when I was in school, we made we used to get the wire coat hangers. Does anyone remember the wire coat hangers? And we'd kind of cross them to make a kind of like hanging ornament and wrap them in tinsels and greenery. So take a trip through the Wheel of the Year. Well, this would have just done it all for me here, wouldn't it? So these are the cross quarters, I believe. And then those are the opposing quarters. New phone keeps coming out of focus. So we've got, this is the northern hemisphere. This tells you for the southern hemisphere. So for those in the southern hemisphere, that's probably really, really useful because it works back to front, doesn't it? And I believe also the moons look back to front if you're in the southern hemisphere to what we see in the northern hemisphere. So lots of information. I'm just giving you close-ups. So these books aren't necessarily just for Wiccans. So there is a big thing about pagan, Wiccan, witchcraft, craft, just following law, Celtic traditions. I'm not going to get into them. It's a bit political. No idea what I was saying there. It's a bit political, so I'm just going with, this is me learning about ways of old, law, traditions from the country in which I live in, basically, because I'm curious. And I've discovered that there is more to it than just what I have so far been taught or learnt. So there's lots of divination that can come into these. So let's have a look at the ways of old, because this is what I'm really kind of curious about. So years and years and years and years and years ago, we would be working with the sun and the hours of sunshine, and then obviously which links into the seasons that we have, and what we can do within the hours of working, how we can, you know, harvest our lands, feed our cattle, and all those sorts of things. Because in England, winters are dark months, and we would then go into kind of like a hibernation period. So we have the astronomical cycle of the Yule. Midwinter, clearly linked to astronomy and the movements of the heavens at the winter solstice. The great seasonal wheel reaches a turning point and begins to rotate back toward the light. With the passing of the winter solstice, the days lengthen and the temperature slowly rises. So it is not surprising that ancient people rejoice at Yule for the arrival of the solstice. They know the winter's challenge will soon ebb and warm and light. So usually by the 14th of February, it's light enough for me to come home in daylight rather than coming home in pitch black from work, which is always a nice thing. So we've got here mythological cycles of Yule. Each pagan old way tradition associates Yule with a specific mythological cycle, either pertaining to deity figures, gods, goddesses, holy infants, to winter's dangerous ferocity, or to the return and renewal of light and life. In folkloric terms, a myth is a story that a culture holds sacred in terms of its origins. A myth is one that is regarded as important and retold from one generation to the next. Myths and stories of Midwinter appear throughout the world. Cultural and religious traditions are interwoven with folklore and legend. So, and then it goes into examining some of them. This is where I'm going to, you know, probably spend a lot of my time reading, trying to remember it all. There's no way I'm going to. Let's just make that perfectly clear. But some of the myths and legends around, isn't it? Groundhog Day, is that one of them? I know here in England apparently there's another one. I can't remember what it is, but it's about somebody coming out of the cottage to thaw the frost, and if they don't thaw the frost, it means it's going to be a hard winter or spring. So it tells us about the Green Man, just having a quick look. Rules and misrules. Okay, gift giving. So gifts were usually offered to placate the winter gods, goddesses, for their intercessions to prevent famine, stop freezing weathers, etc. So there's also something about the old Yule log. There it is. Talk of the beastie. So traditionally it's an oak log. You decorate it with green foliage, and as part of the ceremony you would kind of use it to bless the home and burn it on the fire or the hearth of the home, because the fire used to be in the middle of the home, or because years and years ago we'd have one room or maybe two, and that was where everyone would congregate. So it's a very big thing, and it would keep the fire burning because it's a good piece of wood, as we know. Oak lasts a long time. And then we have some of the new ways of celebrating, which I guess is then bringing in kind of Christmas as we know it, I guess. So decorating with greenery, including a Yule tree. We all do that, I think. Many of us call it a Christmas tree, but I certainly bring in a tree and decorate it in basic decorations with some lights, and sometimes homemade decorations, you know, oranges, candles, and simple colours. I pick a simple colour scheme, and a couple of, you know, decorations that are special that go up every year. So we have lights. So let's find something that, because I can sit and flick through this because I haven't looked through it yet, so this is all very interesting. So spells and divinations, for those of you who like it, it tells us about the magical timings for the season. House cleansing, blessings. It's always a good time to cleanse anyone's house and bless. We have protection. I don't know what that says. Lorica? I think that's Lorica. Yes, there it is, Lorica. Paganised version of the traditional lorica of St. Patrick. So it's a breastplate of sorts. Okay. I haven't heard of that word before. Fantastic. The old gingerbread man. Yule logs for talismans, snow. What else we got in here? Oh, we have a Midwinter solstice spread. There's another one. Old laws, this is frozen puddles. So recipes and crafts, this should be quite fun for anyone that wants to enjoy things at home and teaching others. So we are making Sandy's sugar cookies. Eggnog, that's a must, isn't it, for Christmas? Although not many people like it. Now, wassailing. This is interesting. I only heard this word recently, well, in the last few years. I live in Devon, and in Cornwall, wassailing is still a big thing in many of the little villages. But I believe it's celebrated to enter the new year. I think it's like a tradition that they do. In Cornwall, they do host many kind of old traditions. We still have the maypole dance for the May King and Queen every year. Foil dinners. Oh, cooking in the fireplace. Like, yes, I remember doing that. Baking roast potatoes in the fireplace wrapped in foil. A Yule teeny. Yeah, that's definitely an adult drink. Sounds like fun. Recipes to gift and share. So soups. Making little hot chocolate kits. They always go down well as gifts, don't they? Mulling spices, so people can make their own mulled wines. Bath salts there. Oh, candle making. I can see I'm going to have fun. So we have some prayers and invocations. Obviously, many of us, all different traditions, religions. We all have different prayers and people that we talk to at this time of year. So all is welcome. Holy Midwinter Nights meditation. I do like meditating. I like, winter retreat. I do, this time of year is definitely for me. Need to curl up with a book somewhere by a fire, early nights. I do not like going out because it's so cold. We have such terrible weather, like howling winds and heavy rain. Yeah, it's just not inviting to go anywhere. So we have a fire ritual, preparations. So yeah, there's lots of stuff in here for everybody basically that you can all do. Correspondences. So words, it's a bit like a just list of things that come up. Here we have some colour correspondences, herbs. So cinnamon, access to astral and spiritual realms, authority, intuition, psychic powers of strength. Cinnamon to me is quite warming, quite homely. I find it quite grounding. And it's also very good for health benefits, they say. So I use it for completely different things to what it's listed here. So it's what it is to you. Just because the book says so doesn't mean it, that is all that it is. It can be plenty of other things. But it's nice to add some other interesting words to what you already use, isn't it? Alternate names for Yule and other traditions and cultures. Oh, December solstice. I think I have heard it said as that. Guru. I can't pronounce most of those. Yes, I've heard Midwinter. Soil. No, I haven't heard that one. Winter nights. Yes, I've definitely heard that. The Yuletide or Yule Fest. What do you refer to this time of year as? So we have St. Nicholas's Day, December the 6th. So the 5th today is Krampus Day, as many of us know. And the traditions around St. Nicholas has changed over the years, but he is, I think how I was first taught was St. Nicholas, then Father Christmas, and then, I don't know, Santa Claus came along. But I don't really relate to him at all, I have to say. But I do enjoy some festive food, some merriment, warm fires, great company, and cosy evenings. So there we have it. That's Yule. These will all go along the same lines, so I'm not going to flick through and see what's in everything, but we've got the same type of thing. Look, so we've got drinks, butters, we've got how to make foods. This one's got something about Valentine's Day in it. But yeah, very interesting set of books. They're nice and small. These make great gifts actually, wouldn't they? If you know somebody who wants to know more about different times of the year. So that's May Day, Beltane, May Day. And as I say, there's a whole series. There's one for each section of the sabbat or wheel of the year. And I will probably slowly work my way up to getting all of them. But this is plenty for right now, plenty to keep me going. So I hope you enjoyed looking at my sabbat books, sharing them with you. Naturally, I'm focusing on Yule because that's where I am and that's what I'm doing right now. So take care. I will see you again. Give me a thumbs up, give me a subscribe, and you'll get to know when my next videos upload. If you have anything you want to share in comments, books that you recommend, things about these sabbats that you know, that you find enlightening and wish to share with us, it's always great to share our information because knowledge makes us more, not powerful beings, but it makes us more enlightened and allows us to work with our own wisdom. Take care. I'll see you again. Bye bye.